5D Mystery School.
Blessings, blessings. Welcome back to another video. Today's video was unplanned, but I felt compelled to press record and speak from a place of divine wisdom, I guess you can say. So if I take long pauses, don't worry, your screen is not frozen. It's just me loading. Just want to talk about a few things. So, no specific order, just a space of divine flow. Divine flow. So, it's important in this life to honor your calling. And you have to be unapologetic when you do this, because honoring your calling oftentimes look a lot different than societal expectations. Meaning, if you have built this character, this persona in public, usually people hold you to that standard and they want you to be that person, you know? And this could really place you in a field of stagnation, right? Because you have to allow yourself space to grow, to flow, to change. Change is constant. And if we're not growing, then we're staying the same, you know? And if people truly love you, then they would want more for you, from you. Growth means oftentimes saying goodbye to the person who you once were, right? Life has different stages that we all go through, and every stage that you reach is going to require a different version of yourself. Especially if you looked at this from an astrological perspective, then you go through different profection years. So the energy that you bring into your fourth house perfection year is going to be completely different from the energy that you bring into your seventh house perfection year. And every time you go around the loop, the 360 wheel, you garner better assistance. You garner different levels of temptations and temptations are linked to desires, right? And every time you go around the wheel, you're gaining more wisdom, hopefully. When I say go around the wheel, I mean that in your, let's say, fourth house perfection year, one year you're 27, right? So you have 27 years of experience. And then the next time that you're in your fourth house perfection year, you're 39. So now you have 39 years of experience. So the 27-year-old who faced not problems, but who faced the energy from his family, right? Who dealt with comfort, security, is going to be a different version of yourself the next time you go around. And life has a good job, or life does a good job of giving you teachers, right? Giving you people, speaking through people to tell you things. This can be your mom, your dad, your friends. Honoring your calling is about being the most raw, authentic, genuine version of yourself, right? And that's not going to please everybody. You ever been in a relationship where you met somebody at one level, and let's say you were together for an extended amount of time, and you both could be growing at different levels? So either you and this person are matching each other's resonant frequency, or one frequency is getting higher, one frequency might be getting lower, but it's all about recognizing when that person's time in your life has played itself out, has expired. And honoring your calling is going to come with a lot of goodbyes. Some people you may never see again. But at the end of the day, at the end of each and every day, you're going to be left with yourself. You can't say goodbye to yourself. Your calling is still going to be there. The fact that you are breathing means that you have a calling. And when I say calling, I could be talking about your north node. I could be talking about your midheaven, right? I can even be talking about Orcus, which is your soul contract. Before you came into this life, you had to sign on the dotted line. There is a soul contract that you can't see. There is a record that is being kept of every single move that you make, every single turn that you take, every single hand that you shake. There are times in life where you might feel stuck. Like you feel like you're not going anywhere. Like you're in traffic. When that happens, if that happens, I would always implore you to take a look around for the door that's open and waiting for you to walk through. You're never alone. You're never alone. You have guidance. You have assistance at all times. How often do you speak to your guidance? How often do you call upon help? And I'm not referring to, oh, you're in trouble, so you say a little prayer. Jesus, if you help me, I'll never do this again. Allah, if you help me, whoever you call upon as your higher being of belief. Now, earlier I mentioned temptation, desire. Not everybody is ready to honor their calling because for some people, the material pleasure of the world is an immersive experience, right? This entire life is an immersive experience. But truly, like the pleasure, whether it be sexual pleasure, whether it be eating, gluttony, whether it be drama, some people are addicted to having just like these emotional duels, like arguments, being envy, being jealous. These are all temptations, energy traps that in many ways can detour you from achieving your highest calling, from becoming your greatest self. Lightening your load is going to require for you to remove the anchor of desire. And usually, this type of talk, people think that you have to be like some type of shaman in the woods or a monk or something. But really, it honestly requires for just full self-awareness. And I'm talking to myself too, because there are some times where you might think that you're fully aware. You might think that, you know, like you're enlightened. And then something happens to let you know, like, oh, wait a minute, I wasn't paying attention, or I wasn't as aware as I thought that I was. These are moments where you are called back to yourself, right? Because the fact that we are here in a third density means that there is still a lot of lessons to learn. You have to earn your light body. One of the best ways to do that is to honor your chi, to work with your prana. There is a temptation to be busy, right? Especially in the society of the United States. It's for some people an honor to be booked and busy. The lighter you become, the more that you slow down, you know? What are you seeking? Every day we get up out of bed and we have, from the time the sun reaches our area again, from the time the sun leaves, to truly be aware of the loop, be aware of our own cycles. A moment of personal reflection, I can say that living off grid has truly put me in alignment with the cycle of time, the cyclical nature. I know what time the birds are going to start singing. I know what time to go out and see all of the spider webs in the grass. Every single night the spiders, they make their webs to nest overnight in the dew. And in the rising time, you can go and you can see the droplets of dew on the spider webs and on the wild mushrooms that are growing. And you can hear the woodpecker on the tree doing his thing. You know, nature is the greatest teacher, truly. And oftentimes I wonder, what does true advancement look like? You know, trees have been here for thousands, of years, longer, since the beginning of time. You know, nature has been here, being the teacher that's ready to show the lessons to any student that becomes aware and ready to learn. The network of mycelia that's all around us, the bees that vibrate, you know, that flow to the tune of nature. The trees are honoring their calling. They provide us oxygen. The bees are honoring their calling, pollination. They give us honey. No intervention needed. If man didn't exist, the trees would still grow, the bees would still pollinate. No need for any intervention from man. It's a laissez-faire event, you know? However, us humans, on the other hand, it's us that needs nature. It's us that needs the oxygen from the trees, the pollination from the bees, you know? And I feel as though true advancement looks like becoming attuned to the flow of life, natural life. It doesn't mean, you know, artificial intelligence or shiny things or flying cars or talking computers, or although all of these things are nice. They're nice to have, they're nice to be, you know, immersed with. But the more mature that I get and the more wisdom that is downloaded into me, is it builds this awareness of this connection that we have with the flow of nature. Our calling here in these bodies with this breath is to remember who we are. And there's so many ways to do that. Knowing thyself is the true key to freedom. You can read that in so many books, especially ancient texts. There's a game that you can play called Zelda, and Link's in the game, I believe, is actually impossible to beat the game without interacting with other people, learning from other people about which direction you should go, the things that you should know in order to go with the flow of life. And I believe that that is transferable to real life. You can stay in your house for your entire existence, but you're going to come back and do it again. We have to, this is a multiplayer experience, you know, and honoring your calling involves other people to come into your life, these soul contracts that you have to fulfill out, to clear karma. That's part of remembering who you are. When I say this, I mean that in your past life, you could have these cliffhangers with people, stories unfinished, closure that needs to be experienced. And anybody that comes up to you with, you can just intuitively feel when people come up to you with a message, you know? And it's our job to stop and listen and be aware because no encounters are mistakes, especially the ones that feel like a synchronicity. Like it's unavoidable, you know? Brings me back to reading The Celestine Prophecy by James Redfield. And in the book, without spoiling too much, he says that if you see the same person twice in a day, then that person has a message for you. And man, that book, it really truly made me start to become more aware of these cameos, like the people that make appearances in my life and the messages they bring to keep me on track, to keep me in alignment. One thing, to give you an example, every single time that I move into a new place, I receive free furniture. Even in this, I'm living off grid right now. My queen bed was free, you know? A lot of the stuff in here was free because I have Jupiter and Aquarius in the fourth house. So going back to astrological perspective for a second, your life is in tune to the flow of your natal chart. Whether you believe in astrology or not, I could look at somebody's natal chart and I know where they are in their life, and your blessings and your lessons are laid down before you. I can see what you're going to be doing at the age of 60, what you're going to be doing at the age of 70 if you're still alive, and it's like if you're playing Zelda, let's say I'm the creator of Zelda, right? And I created the beginning of the game and the end of the game. And let's say there's a map of the game. And in order for any player of the game to go from the beginning to beat the game, let's say it's in the form of 12 different parts, right? So the first part, Zelda learns about himself. The second part, Zelda learns about the the tools in the game that they have to use. The third part, Zelda learns about the different people that they have to go and experience conversation with in order to learn more about themselves and the world, right? And this is comparable to your natal chart because your first house, you learn about yourself. The second house, you learn about your values and your possessions. The third house, right, is conversations with the people you consider close to you. Fourth house, you learn about your emotional security, your comfort, your family. And each stage that we go through in life, it's you learn more about these parts of your life till you remember the entire will, and the entire will is who you are. So it's remembering who you are, but it's broken down to different segments. And it's no coincidence that the last part is the house of karma, the house of your subconscious mind, before you go back into the house of learning more about yourself. Because your real self, the seat of the soul is here in your subconscious mind, right? Which is the completion of you going through all of the parts of the game that we call life. It's raining right now outside. I usually go outside right now and just kind of walk in the rain, but hopefully it's still raining when I'm done. Now, I will say this, that no journey is going to be like flawless or, it's going to, you're not going to walk in alongside a bed of roses the entire time. You're going to experience the thorns, and the thorns make you appreciate the rose that much more. The hard times that are built into the journey are either connected to your karma, character, to build your character, but everything you have agreed to lighten your load so that you can become light in your light body. You can say that we are in an incubator. You can say that this is a classroom. Now, if you're watching this video, I'm sure you have been through some type of schooling. And if you fail the fifth grade, you're going to keep repeating the fifth grade until you're ready for the lessons of the sixth grade. And the same goes for life. So when I say, if you look around and you realize that you are experiencing stagnation, then you have to one, make sure that you are aware of the lessons that are being presented before you. Two, make sure that you are working on your reaction. Your reaction comes after an action, and the action oftentimes is the test. And your reaction is giving you a chance to question your awareness, to test your ability to respond to anything that is thrown at you at any point. Teachers come in many forms. It can be a baby, it can be a dog, it can be your favorite barista. But just know that when you do run into these tests, that means that you are ready to move to the next level, because you as a student are being tested by the teacher. And the teacher could be life itself, but you are being prepared to see if you have what it takes to experience life at the next level, because this life is built on levels, and the ultimate level is death. Are you going to come back, or do you have what it takes to go on past the incubator? Have you been prepared enough to live and survive on your own? Or are you going to come back to the third density and deal with these emotions until you are ready to lessen the desire to even interact with most of these emotions? Hey, Pluto. So I'll leave you with this. Are you aware of the lessons that appear in your life and the messages that come with them? If you look around, the people you have in your life, the people you choose to spend your time with, what do they say about you? What energy do they bring into your life? And is this energy conducive to you reaching your greatest good? The ultimate trajectory of your life is never a straight line. Many curves. Some of those curves can be a cul-de-sac if you are drinking the expired milk, not realizing that it's time to move on. Life is going to come with many see you laters. I won't say goodbyes because a lot of the people you see in this life you're going to see in the next life, but in different forms, in different costumes. You take off these clothes and you put on new clothes in the next life. They used to make these CDs called CDRs, where you can like burn a CD and then rewrite the CD. It's like you take one CD, you can put your favorite mixtape on it, and then time passes, you no longer like the songs, new songs come along, and then you rewrite the CD. Your experience in these different vessels is like the disc. One life, your entire life is written. The mistakes were not mistakes because nothing's a mistake. The experiences, the people, right? That's one record, one Akashic record, one song of your life, one universe, right? You take the CD, you put it into a new hard drive, you write a different experience, new songs. That's your next life. And then it keeps repeating. But each time you put the CD into the hard drive takes the experiences, writes it on itself, right? The records are kept, but you go back into the life as a blank CD and you write again. But the ultimate hard drive has all of your memories. It's the Akashic hard drive. What memories are you creating in this life? You know, if, let's say, integrity is a big thing, like throughout all experiences. Sometimes people do things that they believe they can get away with, right? Oh, I can do this and I'll never get caught. But really, every single move you make, that move is going to come up again at some point in your life review, whenever. So I would implore you to be fully aware of every single action that you decide to take, every person that you have an experience with. Be very clear, be very lucid on what's happening, the part that you're playing. Are you creating bad karma? Are you fully aware of the experience with this person? Because like I said, this is an immersive experience. So everything you do is going to be recorded. Somebody is watching. You're never alone. You're never alone. The things that you do when you think that you're in private, those are being recorded as well. That's your true character. That's your 12th house, you know? So one way to lighten your load, one way to prepare yourself in this incubator period is practice just raw, radical integrity. Just even when you're tempted to do the wrong thing, even when it seems like doing the wrong thing, or I won't say wrong, but the thing that is not of the light. Right? Even if it comes with, oh, if you do this thing, you can have the life you've always wanted. You can be with your dream girl. You can have all these riches, but what is it going to cost you? You know? Because one day, at some point in time, that decision is going to come back. That's karma. All right. I'll stop here for today. I hope if you've made it this far, this message has resonated with you in some way and you've been able to take something from this. I just press record and I just let the divine flow through me. So I'm grateful for you being here, and I'll see you the next time around. Blessings.
5D Mystery School.